morning. Welcome to the first edition of Success Edge. I'm Jack Wu, your host here. First of all, I want to wish every one of you a very, very happy new year. And may 2015 be an amazing year for every single one of you. And I'm excited to launch this new video program. For the last 20 years in the sales business, I really believe that successful people have certain things in common and they do certain things in common, and therefore their results are pretty much the same. In 2015, I want to challenge our field leaders to have certain things in their mind and eventually take it into actions. That's my commitment to you today, is to share with you some of the winning principles, what you need to do to make 2015 a better year, a different year for you. But you must take action. You must understand what to do first. Then understanding what to do will lead you into action. And once you have action, then result will come. The first thing that I believe all great leaders do is that all great leaders, they are not seasonal with their working ethic. They don't just work hard for a month and then becoming casual again and becoming lazy. And that's what I see in a lot of people. They tend to work hard just for a very short period of time, and after that, they get right back to the comfort zone because they made a certain amount of money this month and they become complacent. And if you want to be successful in the business world, if you want to build a successful empire, you got to work hard consistently. And that's one of the key for my success over the last 20 years, is that I do not let 1 month or 1 year of success get me just comfortable and just stay where I am at. And that's the first thing. In 2015, I challenge all of our field leaders to really working hard on a daily basis and continue to do the things that you have passion about, not just for money. Another thing I want to challenge our leaders to do is that great leaders, they don't just make great money, all right? They save a lot of money, and I can attest to that. And I want to assure you, when I started the business many years ago, one of the biggest mistakes for me was I thought making a lot of money would solve all the problem, and that's not the case. Making a lot of money, as a matter of fact, can create more problems for you financially. And one of my mentors always told me, Jack, if you want to be wealthy, you got to make a lot of money, but save at least 30% of what you make. And this is the key. You got to make a lot of money and create that cash flow. And I believe our company, our opportunity can do that for a lot of you if you're willing to work hard. But making a lot of money and having those cash flow in hand is not enough. And able to put those money aside and save it for rainy day will help you to become the most confident leader in the business world. So save 30% of those money is very important. And to me, that's the minimum, 30%. Another very important winning principle and point I want to talk about is great leaders, they celebrate their success, one at a time. They don't dwell on their success for too long, or they don't dwell on their failure for too long. They celebrate on one victory and then they move on to the next goal. And that's the key. I see a lot of leaders and a lot of people in different companies, and they have a good month, they do well in half year, they win a company trip, they hit the bonus pool, whatever that might be, and they tend to celebrate those success for way too long. And after they celebrate for so long and they ended up and all of a sudden they say, wow, you know what, there's no more business coming. And that's not what you want to do. If you watch any kind of sports and any winning teams, and the reporter go up to them and say, hey, you know what, you just won this amazing game. Do you think you'll win the Super Bowl this season? What do you think they say? Well, they usually will tell the reporter and say, you know what, we take one game at a time. We take one game at a time. We won this game, great. I want to celebrate after this, but you know what? Next week we'll get right back to practice and analyze the next game, and we're going to take our game one game at a time. And that's exactly what you need to do in the business as well. Great leaders treat their business as a job. Now that's kind of interesting because we always talk about treat your business. This is your own business. You're your own boss. You can do whatever you want to do, time freedom and all that great stuff. But I found out personally for myself is that what worked for me over the last 20 years is that I treat my business as a job. Um, the thing about that is most people I found out they are not very disciplined in running their own business when they own their business. And they don't have to wake up early. They don't have to leave late. They don't have to put in 40, 50 hours in the business if they don't want to, because at the end of the day, it is their own business. And that's the problem for most people because they don't have the discipline. And to make that simple, when I first started my sales career, I started in this business, I treated my business as a job. And I imagine I have a boss I have to report to, even though I didn't. Every day I will put in full hours, at least 8 to 10 hours. I will go to my meeting early. I will leave late. I'll do the things that I'm required to do as an employee. And therefore, my career took off very early on because, I treated my business as a job. Because when you treat your business as a job, you have no other option except just to do it because you have a boss to report to, and that's got to be in your mind, at least on the imagination side. And then, of course, the last thing is great leaders never stop prospecting and selling. And this is what we do in the sales industry. This is what we do in the recruiting business. I see people say, when do I stop prospecting? When do I stop selling? The answer is you never stop, because this is what you do to make great income. This is what you do to lead your team. This is what you do to become successful. And the first, you got to develop a passion of what you do. People say, how do I continue to do something with undiminished enthusiasm? Well, I tell you, you got to develop a passion. Anything you do, you have to find something that you're excited about, waking up in the morning and fired up about doing that specific task. And if you're in a profession, if you're in an industry that you don't enjoy what you do and you do it just for the money, my advice for you is that look for something else that you truly have the passion. And once you develop that passion, then you'll start to create great habits. Habits is everything. Motivation will get you started, but habits will make you very, very successful. So the habits of what? The habits of, waking up early, the habit of, doing the right thing, the habits of going out there and prospecting on a daily basis, the habits of communication with your people, etc., etc., etc. And that's what you got to do. And then from that point on, once you have the right habits, either you got the wrong habits or the right habits. And I hope that you guys will start to create the right habits in 2015. And with the right habits, then great results will follow. All right? And so let me recap, guys. Great leaders, remember, they work very, very hard. They celebrate their success one at a time, and they move on to the next goal. They make a lot of money, but they save a lot of money. And of course, they treat their business as a job because that will give them no option except to do what they're supposed to do. And of course, lastly, great leaders never, ever, ever stop prospecting and selling. This is the message for the week for our field leaders here. This is Jack Wu, your host of Success Edge. I'm excited to see a lot of you rising up in 2015 and do a lot of great things. And hopefully by the end of the year, we're going to have a great talk and share some of our amazing success stories in 2015. Thank you very much and see you next time.